One of the many people who are grateful that Jaycee Dugard was found alive after being kidnapped 18 years ago is Sue Bush, Jaycee's former fifth grade teacher. She joins us right now from Reno, Nevada. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sue, tell me about Jaycee. What do you remember what she was like as an 11-year-old girl?
Jaycee was absolutely delightful. She was always happy. She had a smile on her face, sparkly eyes, well liked by all the kids in the room.
It comes across in the pictures that we're looking at of her. But Sue, what do you remember about that horrible day that she was kidnapped, and how did you learn about her kidnapping?
Well, you know, I actually learned about it after I had arrived. I was at school already. I tended to go in early, and somewhere between 8 and 9, I got the call to come down to the office, and that's when I found out about Jaycee. And I just want to let you and everybody in Jaycee know that the entire community, her family, her friends, her classmates, her teacher, never, ever forgot her or gave up the hope that she would come back someday.
So this day is just wonderful news after waiting 18 years, I can imagine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But Sue, what do you remember telling your students about this whole kidnapping case, and what do the students say about, you know, her abduction?
You know, a lot of the kids already knew about it out on the yard because some of the children had actually witnessed the abduction because they were on the way to the same bus stop.
And what did they say about what did those kids say about what they saw? Like, how did Jaycee react to being snatched?
You know, Jaycee did everything she was supposed to do. She screamed and she kicked. We had a DARE training weeks prior, and she did exactly what she was supposed to do that morning. You know, she fought off her attackers.
Amazing.
Yes.
Sue Bush, thank you for sharing your memory and your thoughts with us this morning. I want to turn to our other guest who's here with me right now in the Los Angeles Bureau. Robin Sachs is a former Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney and the author of Predators and Child Molesters, What Every Parent Needs to Know to Keep Kids Safe. Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, let's talk about the stats. How many registered sex offenders are out there?
There are about 500,000 registered sex offenders, actually, that are out there. That's only the people that are actually registered. Those aren't the people who are sex offenders who have yet to be convicted or awaiting trial or have never even been arrested. So the numbers are a little bit misleading in terms of who we know is a sex offender and who we don't even know who is a potential sex offender.
What's the number of sex offenders who actually slip through the cracks then?
There is about 100,000 people that slip through the cracks. And when we say slip through the cracks, that means that they fail to register. Those are ones that we even know about who aren't keeping up with what they're supposed to do in registering yearly or maintaining their address or informing law enforcement or parole where they're moving.
So there's so many out there. Parents are probably panicking right now hearing these numbers. What's the first step a parent should take to keep their kids safe?
As I mentioned in my book, I talk about how we should take advantage of teachable moments. We should look at an opportunity, a silver lining, if you will, in the case of Jaycee Dugard, and remember that we really need to have the safety conversations with our kids all the time. But in addition, the registered sex offender list is something that everybody can access. It's free, it's easy. You can Google sex offender and it's right there, and look by address. And everyone should look to see who's living in their neighborhood, who is living near their schools, who's living near their grandparents' homes or caretakers' homes, and not just look at the list as okay, these are people that exist, but actually go into the list, take a glance at the picture, be familiar with who you may be looking for, but also look at the crime for which they're convicted. Many times the registry will have on the list, and it was actually the case in Philip Garrido's situation, that it was listed that he had been convicted in a prior case for kidnap and for rape. And if you have that rape there, you know, this is something different than just a unlawful sex or statutory rape situation. This is someone who is a violent predator that we should know about.
In the final few seconds, if a child is being snatched, what do you tell your child that he or she should do?
And exactly what Jaycee did do, the screaming and kicking, is definitely something you want to do. You want to do something to attack to put off the attackers and yell for help, but not just help with the word help, but use the word fire. And at all costs to try not to get into the car if at all possible. Everything's about buying time, not necessarily winning a fight. It's giving you a moment, maybe gouging out with keys or using your fingers or taking an elbow to push someone away, just to buy that a couple extra seconds to run away.
Fight for your life. Robin Sachs, thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you so
advice.
much.
You're welcome.